Hey, we're talking sports. Nothing better than that. And welcome to Talking Sports. Kip Kiefer and the legend back for another week of the best sports talk in Birmingham television. We cover it all from football to baseball, hoops, racing, everything that's action-packed. You can find it and hear all about it right here on the program every Saturday morning at 11. Welcome to the show. Another big week, and we got away from the basic theme last week, Legend. We talked about baseball a little bit, but this week we got to get back to the pigskins.
Yeah, got to get back, Kip. Got to get back where we belong. It's where we belong.
So I know we've got a lot of great stuff planned. I want to remind everybody that the show's brought to you by Birmingham Greyhound Racing, and the gates are open. 11 o'clock this morning, right when we came on the air. The Saturday festivities are beginning. And it's exciting. We're going to tell you a little bit later in the show about the two great racetracks that have joined the schedule this week for their summer seasons. Del Mar out in California and Saratoga in upstate New York. Some of the best horse racing imaginable, and it's available today at the Birmingham Greyhound Racing Facility, Birmingham Racecourse, as well as the live dogs on the track at 2 o'clock this afternoon, 7:15 tonight. There's never a shortage of action at Birmingham Greyhound Racing.
Man, I've been winning out there, Kip. My shoes, a house note, ladies and gentlemen.
Well,
I've been winning out there, Kip.
You had your pocket full of money last week.
Well, I put that in the bank. Looked like you wanted a little too much of that, Kip.
Well, you kind of dangled in it last week, and I almost was quick enough, but the legend got the better of me. But we're going to have a lot of fun today. We thought we'd start with the SEC. It's appropriate. It's disappointing. I think this is the first time in at least 25 years that SEC football media days were not held here in Birmingham where they belong. They're over in Atlanta, the College Football Hall of Fame, the World Congress Center. We kind of got into a situation here where, there just wasn't enough space anymore at the Hyatt Winfrey, which was the location for many years. So it's sad, but any observations so far from media days that you've seen?
Well, I hate it wasn't in Birmingham, Nick. I would have came seen you, but I had to work, dude. I had to work. I did send you some flowers this week, though, Coach Saban. You know I love you.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice little video that got released yesterday. Coach Saban stopping to sign an autograph for a lady that said, "But it's my birthday."
You got to love Coach Saban. Coach to your 100.
Yeah, well, they did ask him that yesterday, and you saw what his response was. Miss Terry will not let me hang around the house, so I might have to coach till I'm 80.
That's right, 90. We'll push you out on the field, Nick. We don't care.
Okay, well, so we're all primed up for some SEC conversation. Let's get into it, Legend. You took the time this week to start to identify some of the guys you think are really going to have breakout seasons and become the faces and the superstars of the league. And I was absolutely intrigued to hear about the first guy on your list because I don't remember anybody ever having this first name. And I hope it's not in terms of a number of interceptions against some of our preferred teams, but you got a guy named Greedy down at LSU.
Greedy Williams, the best cornerback in the SEC coming into the season. And with a name like Greedy, I mean, you got to love this guy. If God was the form and create a cornerback, he would name him Greedy Williams. Just an outstanding player. Look for him to explode onto the scene. Coach O got a few pieces down there on defense, Kip. But overall, this LSU team is one that is headed towards Arkansas more than it's headed towards Alabama right now.
Yeah, and as we talked about a couple weeks ago, the LSU schedule, brutal.
Really
tough.
Brutal. Coach O will be 0-and forever against Alabama. This is a coach that LSU's wasting their time on like we've talked before.
Remember their opener, it's against Miami at Dallas at Jerry World. And they also, everybody gets a common opponent in the SEC. This is Florida, who you're really high on. That's LSU's every year opponent. And they just happened to draw Georgia this year, so that wasn't the best of luck
That's not
either.
Good luck for Coach O. I predict right now on Talking Sports, Coach O will not make the end of the season at LSU.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, now that is a bold prediction.
He won't make the end of the season.
We'll see what happens. All right, next on your list, Alabama. You got players that are going to break out at Alabama?
Well, it's hard to call Damian Harris a breakout player, But this is a running back who, in my opinion, is better than Mark Ingram when he was at Alabama. And we know Mark Ingram won the Heisman. This is a bull, a stud, and I look for him to break out this season with 1,500 yards and at least 16 touchdowns. Look for Damian Harris to make a run at SEC Player of the Year this year, Kip.
Wow. And I know I follow your Twitter feed. I see you get constant questions on the Hurts and Tua situation. Tua broke out big time in the national championship game. You're still convinced that a two-quarterback system in this case can work?
Yeah, I believe that Alabama is in a 15-game war. Alabama don't play 12. They don't play 13. They play for 15 games a season, ladies and gentlemen. When you play 15 games, you need two quarterbacks, no matter how great your one quarterback is. But make no mistake about it, Tua is a left-handed Russell Wilson. This guy's dynamic. This is the first time the University of Alabama has had a NFL first-round caliber quarterback in forever, ladies and gentlemen. The sky's the limit for you, Nick. Don't leave. I see 6, 7, 8, 9 national titles.
Oh, my goodness. So we're going to see. What about the critics that say a two-quarterback system doesn't work because you have different packages for both those guys? It's tough on the other players. How do you respond to that?
Well, I respond. When you up 30-0 at halftime, you need a quarterback to start the third quarter. So why not let Hurts come in and get some reps? I mean, when you look at the Alabama schedule, there's some blowouts. There's no reason for the starting quarterback to be in the game when it's 28-0 in the second quarterback. Let's go on and get Tua's brother in the game some. Let's get the other kid from Texas in the game some. I mean, there's plenty of snaps in this 15-game war for everybody, but like I reported, sources tell me Hurts is committed to the team this year, but if he's not the starter by the end of the year, he will transfer at the end of the year.
And you heard that here on Talking Sports a couple of weeks ago. Legend reporting some inside scoops there. Okay, we only got about 30 seconds left. You got DeAndre Swift from Georgia, number 7, dynamic player that's going to get some totes this year. Last year, anytime he touched it, he was electrifying.
Yeah, I love DeAndre Swift. I mean, you know you lost Chubb, you lost Michelle at Georgia, but DeAndre Swift reminds me of Garrison Hurst. And if you're a Georgia fan, you old school, you know who I'm talking about. This is an electrifying runner, and I think this Georgia team may start out a little slow, but this is definitely, like we said a few weeks ago, the Joe Frazier to the ILE, which is Alabama, in the SEC. And DeAndre Swift is the horse that Georgia will be riding this year.
And real quick, Derek Brown at Auburn. Got to give the Tigers
their
due.
Auburn, might have the best defense in the SEC according to a lot of people. And Derek Brown is an awesome defensive tackle. Philip King tweeted on our Twitter site this week. Rokon Davis too from Alabama. I want to give him a shout out, Philip King, for his tweet. Just some great breakout players ready in the SEC this year, Kip.
It's going to be fantastic. We will really be getting excited as the weeks tick down here. We're only about 5 weeks away from opening day.
I love it. I love it, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to talk about that other brand of football, the National Football League. Got some great stuff there. Stay with us, Kip and the Legend, Talking Sports, back after this.